continuing from the previous one, let's call it 1A. Okay, manage expectations. When you are trying to manage expectations with someone in a relationship, as in your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, things take a little different approach because we are at a certain level with the other person that we should have already had some kind of conversational level to have some kind of expectations of what to expect going further with the relationship. That's how it should be. And then, as always, things don't ever stay consistently the same. So we always have to reevaluate and re-articulate to the other person in a relationship the kind of things that we expect. And that goes both ways, and the kind of things that they should expect from us. So at some point in time, everything has to be reevaluated, and people always have problems because of, again, the low expectations and what people aren't reaching for each other or complimenting each other with. So when you're dealing with someone else in a relationship like this, you have to understand that even though you expect them to do certain things, they still have a different level of perspective and their own personal beliefs and thoughts and feelings and emotions that always come into place when we talk to them and how we live with our typical day. And this is even more so of an issue when you have people who live in the same household. Because as time goes on, people get more complacent and more used to doing things a certain kind of way. And we start doing things that might go against the grain of what you expect or what the normal plan is. There's always going to be some level of tension and animosity, unless it's fully articulated or fully communicated beforehand. This is why one of the reasons why relationships that actually go a long, long way in duration is because of the level of communication that somehow, some way, both parties are properly articulating to each other the way the other person can actually receive the information that they're trying to give, and vice versa. They're very adapted to each other, and I need to bring that back from other TikTok in regards to the 3C's of a long-lasting relationship. But communication goes a very long way. And for the expectations for the person, like I said, if things are fully which is not a very, very common thing quite often or all the time, but if everything is fully communicated and everyone is on the same page with what needs to happen, the level of expectations are typically around here because everyone's on the same page and everyone's going to just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth because what's being said and what's being needed is being done. Easy peasy. What's not being done is shortly being done thereafter because everyone's on the same page. But when there's certain levels of, when there's a disparity in regards to how much communication is being said, or the two parties are having issues with the proper communication channels and things are being articulated appropriately, there's going to be a lot more swings in regards to the expectations of how people do things. And when the expectations aren't being met, then you're going to have bigger swings in emotional outlets, and emotional swings, big more arguments, and a lot more tension and drama going on in situations where that's why one of the reasons why there are small problems in relationships that become much bigger problems because things are not typically articulated or handled according to one or both parties' expectations. And that is a big, I don't want to say it's a huge detriment, but as that keeps going over on over a long period of time, that's how things start having less expectations of the other party to perform. Other party is not going to expect the other person to do things, so they stop asking for things, or they stop looking to be what's the word I was thinking about? Looking to be satisfied in the situation. That's what happens. As time goes on, that becomes more of a disparity. And then when that happens, the parties start sliding slowly away from each other. And the thing I shouldn't be go both parties, one side could be strictly like this. Because more often not in relationships, it's not typically both sides are in complete mutual agreement with separation when things start getting very murky. More often not, it goes one person goes this way, this person says something, that person goes this way, or go this way a little bit, and then this person is a little upset, a little pissed off, and then it keeps going like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until there's a big separation as time goes on. That's what it comes down to. So, main expectation when you're dealing with someone, when you're constantly in a relationship with them, is just can be easier to deal with. It can be easier to also brush aside because of the levels of complacency and what is actually happening. I mean, there's a lot more variables aside from that. But like I said, these are one of the small things that you have to look out for because expectations determines happiness, and happiness determines duration of a relationship. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep this one short, not get too heavy into this one. But what's my catchphrase for this podcast? It's always, my friends, stay classy. We're gonna change the world one person at a time, starting with you. Big wish.